Jannik Sinner, fresh off snatching the weekly world #1 crown with a Paris Masters masterclass, struts into Turin like a gladiator reborn only for Carlos Alcaraz to shatter the silence with a tiebreak thunderbolt against Alex de Minaur. 7-6, 5, 6-2. The Spaniard, down set point, claws back from the brink, his roar echoing off the Pala Alpitour walls like a war cry. Sinner's lead? It's a fragile 250 points in the weekly chase, but year-end #1? Alcaraz clings to a razor-thin 1,050-point edge in the live race. One Sinner stumbled today against Felix Auger-Aliassime, and the Italian's dream implodes. What if Alcaraz doesn't just defend, he devours the throne in a bloodbath of baselines and brilliance? Smash that subscribe on all sports updates and ring the bell, because this #1 showdown is a powder keg, and we're lighting the fuse. Your front row ticket to tennis Armageddon starts now. Alcaraz's opener? Not a match, a manifesto of menace. Visualize the scene. First set, de Minaur slices slicing deep, Alcaraz's backhand buckling under 100 mph heat. Set point looms like a guillotine. Then, in a heartbeat, Alcaraz's forehand erupts a 95 mph whip crack that kisses the line, stealing the tiebreak 7-5. Second set? A 6-2 demolition, drop shots dipping like daggers, volleys volleying victory. 200 live race points harvested, narrowing Sinner's weekly grip while fortifying Alcaraz's year-end fortress. The stakes? Cataclysmic. Sinner, defending 1,500 from last year's flawless run, must conquer all or crumble. Alcaraz? 2 group wins, 400 points, and the crown is his, no finals fanfare required. Turin's shadows lengthen, the air thickens with unspoken dread. Lurking in the labor group, Casper Ruud awaits like a Nordic stormclay king turned hardcourt hawk. Tuesday's clash? Alcaraz's inferno versus Ruud's relentless rally. Recall their French Open semis 23. Alcaraz, sweat-soaked sentinel, edging a 5-set siege with angles acute as assassins. Indoor? Alcaraz's realm, where his speed blurs borders, his spin summons specters. Sweep Ruud for 400 points total. Sinner's script shreds. But the pulse-pounding plot thickens. Sinner's today opener against Auger-Aliassime, the Canadian Cobra with a serve that strikes silent. A 5-setter? Sinner's tank drains, Alcaraz's practice turns predatory. The boy who slayed Djokovic at Wimbledon 24 now stalks Sinner's sole prodigy versus Phenom, legacy on the line, every error an earthquake. Rewind to Beijing 25 finals, Sinner's 7-6, 6-3 stranglehold, his backhand a basilisk glare freezing Alcaraz mid-leap. Sinner's steel, unyielding, Alcaraz's fire, flickering but fierce. Post-opener, the pendulum swings savage, Alcaraz's net assaults now nightmares for baselines, his 80% volley winners venomous vipers. To pilfer year-end #1? Precision's blade, sidestep injury that Shanghai scars still whispers warnings. 2 RR triumphs, 400 points, sealing Sinner's fate even if the Italian ices the trophy. Sinner? Pressure's python coils, his Paris quarters wobble haunts, backhand betrayals brewing. Alcaraz's ascent? From teen titan to throne thief, each ace a arrow to the heart. Dive into all sports updates, your arena for epics etched in equity. Alcaraz's arsenal, mental marathons, yoga-forged flexibility to fend fatigue. Channeled at US Open 25 Fury, where he fell Fritz in a fault-line frenzy. Jaw-dropper. Sinner's opener intel leaks Auger-Aliassame's return game, a wrecking ball primed to batter. If Sinner staggers, even a set slip, Alcaraz's aura amplifies, Spanish scarves swirl like sorcery in the stands. Turin's chill bites deeper, breaths bated. Will home hero Sinner summon salvation, or does Alcaraz's shadow swallow him whole? The rivalry's river runs red with rivalry's rage. Knockout calculus? A semi-berth, 600 points minimum, Alcaraz's buffer balloons beyond breach. Finals frolic? 1,000 ironclad. Sinner's salvation? An undefeated Odyssey. Fritz, de Minaur, Paul pulverized, yet even then, Alcaraz's 200-point opener hoists him higher. Gut punch revelation. Sinner's jet-lag ghost from Tokyo triumph lingers, legs leaden, Alcaraz's off-season overhaul muscle sculpted like marble poised for prolonged purgatory. Narrative's nerve fray, 2 titans, teens turn terrors, their dual destinies dice roll. 1 fumble, and the fall from grace fractures forever retention riveted on the razor's ridge. Tactical tempest. Alcaraz ascends to the net, de Minaur's demise, his dispatch note volleys vaulting victory at 85% clip. Ruud's topspin tornado? Counter with slices sharp as shivs, high balls hammered into oblivion. Sinner's riposte? Forehand fury at 132 mph, a freight train of fright. Yet Alcaraz's agility phantom footwork parries the peril, turning defense to devastation. Epic entanglement. Flare-fueled artist clashes with algorithmic assassin, their 25 clashes canvases of chaos. Wimbledon semis, a 5-set symphony of suffering. Alcaraz's opener omen? Ominous for Sinner, the gap gaping wider with every winner whispered. Crowning the chronicle, year-end #1 isn't numerals, it's nectar of the gods, immortality inscribed. Alcaraz tasted at 22 at 19, a supernova spark. Sinner swiped 24's scepter. 25? A tightrope tango over abyss. Alcaraz's mandate, maneuver group minefield top rude, tempts Zverev's tumble and 20-year-old Zenith reclaims. Bombshell buzz, Alcaraz's added armor from altitude camps, endurance engineered for eternity. Sinner? Schedule side swings, fatigue's fangs flashing. The saga surges to summit, no longer challenger. Alcaraz architects apocalypse for Sinner's empire throne teetering on tomorrow's tempests. The verdict, Alcaraz's vendetta to vanquish Sinner's summit, forged in finals fire. From opener onslaught to potential plunder, he's perilously primed. Like if Alcaraz is your apex predator, drop your doomsday prediction in comments. Crave more carnage? Subscribe all sports updates, your unblinking eye on tennis's titanic tugs of war. Baseline beckons, brace for the blast. Lights. The storytelling spine strengthens here. Sinner a seeker, not surf, his journey a jigsaw of joys pieced under Pive de Cador's peaks. Skiing solitude taught stealth, cycling's cadence control, running's rhythm resilience, all tributaries feeding tennis's torrent. Yet the pivot pierces, when victories vault you high, vulnerability vanishes, you venture deeper, dissecting details like a surgeon in spotlight. Losses loom larger, their shadow self a saboteur whispering withdrawal, but Sinner summons the storm, stepping onto clay or concrete as conqueror. Sacrifices? They stack like stones in a shrine, not shackles in a dungeon. Family feasts forsaken for fitness files, sun-soaked siestas swapped for strategy sessions. Until I decide, he declares, a declaration of agency that defies destiny's dictate, his frame a vessel voyaging until the voyage veers. The moment of surprise surges subtle, no bitterness toward Ferrero, the fellow former #1 whose 03 Paris pinnacle. Sinner studied in silence, instead, empathy, acknowledging the enslavement echo in every elite's echo chamber. Alcaraz, eavesdropping from afar in practice pits, absorbs it as allies' advice, their coaches clash a catalyst for camaraderie. As ATP finals flicker to life, Fritz facing Paul in Don duels, Sinner's stance spotlights the spectrum, tennis as tyrant or talisman. Ferrero's forge tempers Alcaraz for Rude's reckoning, passion's fire fueling the fight. Sinner's sanctuary? It shields against the storm, his Paris parade straight sets over Humbert, Rune, Medvedev a testament to chosen chains over coerced ones. The narrative navigates nuance, from boy in boots to basilisk of baselines, his response a Rosetta Stone rewriting rivalry's runes. Turin's tapestry tightens, threads of thought twisting toward tomorrow's ties. Will passion propel Sinner's defense, or does enslavement's edge empower Alcaraz's ascent? Enslavement's echo reverberates through Sinner's sanctuary story, a stark silhouette against the sunlit sacrifices of his Spanish shadow. Ferrero, forged in the furnace of 5-set sagas, views the game as gauntlet, grip unyielding, glory glimpsed only through brine's grime. His charge, Alcaraz, embodies that ethos. Murcia mornings morphing into Madrid marathons, the 22 US Open unearthed from underground toil, Wimbledon's 24 wizardry wrought from winter workouts. Yet Sinner's soliloquy shifts the sands, passion as prism, refracting rigor into radiance, turning toil to tapestry. Dive into his depths, that polymath youth, polysport prodigy pirouetting from pitch to piste, tennis the thread tying tumult to tranquility. Feel safe? It's seismic, a seismic shift from external tempests, family fractures, fame's frenzy to court's cocoon, where control crowns the chaos. The elaboration elevates, golden streaks demand deeper dives, mind's microscope magnifying minutiae, from grips goes to footwork's flow. Defeats? Darker days, doubts deluge drowning drive, yet he harnesses the hurricane, court as confessional cleansing the soul. Sacrifices sublime, not subjugating holidays halved for high-altitude haunts, pierce parties past for physio protocols. Until the body balks, a boundary bold, autonomy's anthem amid ambition's roar. Storytelling straight a deepened Sinner's saga, scripted in San Candido snows, where ski edges etched endurance, now etched in emerald courts from Estoril to the estates. The surprise uncoils in his candor, no conquest complex, but quiet quest, passion's purity preserving the player beyond the points. Ferrero's fire, felt in Alcaraz's flare-fueled flights, finds foil in Sinner's frost-kissed focus, their Beijing 25 ballet a bridge between beliefs. As finals frenzy ferments, de Minaur dueling Zverev and decider dreams, Sinner's words waft like warning winds. Enslavement endures, but passion endures eternally. Alcaraz, ankle mending from Shanghai scars, absorbs the axiom, his coach's creed clashing yet complementing the Italian's insight. The chronicle crests on contrast, two titans, temperaments twined, their philosophies philosophical foils framing the fray. Turin's trial by talent tests the tenets. Will Sinner's safe harbor harmony, or does Ferrero's forge fashion Alcaraz's phoenix? Step into all sports updates, where we unpack the unspoken in every serve. Stick around for the full fire, and subscribe if these rival rifts resonate. The finals feast is just firing up. Sinner's sanctuary clashes with the Spaniard's forge, a continental collision of creeds that colors the canvas of their conquests. Ferrero's enslavement? It's the spine of Spanish supremacy, Nadal's nephew narrative. Alcaraz as acolyte, absorbing the all-in ethos that alchemized clay courts into cathedrals. Recall the 23 Roland Garros rapture, Alcaraz ascending amid applause, every error exorcised in endless drills, Ferrero's gaze a goad to greatness. Passion, Sinner counters, is the palette painting practice with purpose, not tennis. His youth's mosaic football's fellowship fading to tennis's focus mirrors a meandering path to mastery, each sport a stepping stone to the slab where safety reigns. On court, tempests tame, the world's whims wait at the fence, focus a fortress fending fears, the pivots abound, prosperity's peak demands for safety's climb, learning's lattice laid in luminous lessons. Adversity? Its acid etches excuses, yet Sinner steals against surrender, racket a rosary reciting resolve. Sacrifices? Selective, soul-sustaining birthdays blurred into baseline battles, yet laced with levity's light. Until autonomy asserts, applause carving for his terms. The narrative navigates northern Sinner's ascent, from Tyrolean trails to Tokyo triumphs, a tale of chosen chapters over chained chronicles. Surprise shimmers in the synergy, no schism with Alcaraz, but solidarity, their 24 US Open odyssey an ode to overlapping orbits. Ferrero's fervor fuels the frenzy, but Sinner's serenity? It sustains the storm. As ATP finals arc alive, Rublev rumbling against Rune in round-robin roulette, philosophies philosophize the fray, enslavement's endurance versus passion's persistence. Alcaraz eyes the ether, his coaches call a clarion for comeback, while Sinner's stance spotlights self-sovereignty. The rivalry's river reflects both, Beijing's brutal beauty, where backhands bit like basilisks, bonds beyond barbs. Turin's threads tangle tighter, tenets tested in tiebreak tempests. Will passion's prism prevail, or enslavement's edge etch eternity? Philosophies fracture the facade, Sinner's passion a polar star to Ferrero's forge-flamed fealty, their echoes etching the ATP's evolving ethos. Enslavement, in the elder's eyes, is essence Alcaraz's alchemy, turning teen tantrums into titan triumphs, every dawn drill a devotion to dynasty. Madrid's 25 miracle, mauling Medvedev under merciless midday, born of basement bondage to the ball machine. Sinner? He sculpts with subtlety, passion's palette preferring poetry to punishment. Childhood's chorus, soccer's scramble, ski's swift silence, cycle's ceaseless churn culminated in court's cradle, where safety supplanted strife. External eddies eddy elsewhere, here, harmony hums, a haven honing the human. Elaboration's elegance, elation's era invites immersion, intellect ingesting intricacies invisible in defeat's dusk. Losses lash like low fog, luring to lethargy, but Sinner surges, sanctuary summoning strength. Sacrifices? Sublime selections, summers segmented for strategy sanctums, yet woven with wonder's warp. Until the vessel voices veto, volitions vow over victory's vortex. Storytelling summit scales, Sinner's script, sketched in snowy enclaves, now starring in Shanghai spectacles, a seeker-sustaining spark. The jolt jars gently gratitude for Ferrero's fire, glimpsed in Alcaraz's audacity, their Vienna 25 vendetta a velvet vice of virtuosity. As finals flames flicker, Paul pummeling Popurin in practice previews, creeds converge in competition, enslavement's iron will versus passion's fluid force. Alcaraz, aura amplified by off-season overhauls, heeds the harness, Sinner's sovereignty? It shields the summit. The chronicle coils closer, two trailblazers, trails twining from Turin to eternity, their banter a bridge over bitterness. Turin's tempest teases truth's passion's poised to perpetuate, or does devotion's depth deliver the dynasty? Legacy's loom lengthens with this linguistic lattice, Sinner's retort a ripple redefining rivalry's reach. Ferrero's forge, fiery and familiar, frames Alcaraz as forged Phoenix 22's Indian Wells inferno, ignited by indoor isolation's intensity. Enslavement? It's the elixir extracting excellence, every echo of exhaustion a eulogy to effort. Passion, Sinner parries, is the poetry, perfuming perseverance with personal peace. Youth's yacht of pursuits, football's frolic, ski's serenity, pedaling's pulse docked at tennis's key, where quietude quelled the questing heart. Court as cloister, chaos cordoned, confidence crystallized in chalk lines. The thesis thrives, triumph's tide tugs toward totality, training's tapestry textured in tender times. Setbacks? Shadows shrinking scope, yet Sinner spotlights the spark, sanctuary a self-soothing scars. Sacrifices sculpted, not scourged, festivals fleeting for fitness frontiers, balanced by being's bliss. Until the frame falters, freedom's flourish finale. Narrative's nexus nears, Sinner's odyssey, from Val Pasteria visions to Paris pantheons, a passion play preserving purity. Surprise surfaces soft, respect for the remarks rooted in rivals' resilience, their Wimbledon 24 whirlwind a whisper of what-ifs. As ATP finals forge forward, Musetti menacing Manarino and must-win math, maxims mingle in the melee, enslavement's ethos enduring, passion's prose poetic. Alcaraz anticipates ascension, advisors axiom arming the assault, Sinner's stance? Stalwart, sustaining the sphere. The saga swells to symphony, piers as pendants, pendulums of progress in tennis's timeless tango. Turin's torch tests the tapestry, will chosen fervor flourish, or unyielding union unveil the ultimate? The denouement dawns in dialectics, Sinner's discourse a dawn dispelling darkness, passion's proclamation a panacea to enslavement's edge. Ferrero's fidelity, fierce and foundational, fuels Alcaraz's firmament 24 Olympics odyssey, outlasting overtimes and Parisian pours, proof of the pack's power. Slave to the sport? Its sacrament, sanctifying the sweat-soaked strides to supremacy. Sinner's symphony sings sweeter passion as partner, not proprietor, perfuming the path with personal poetry. Infancy's interchange pitch pursuits, pieced plunges, path pedaling peaked in court's communion, cradle calming the cosmos. Safety's sanctum, strife sequestered, selfhood solidified in serves. Exposition expands, exaltation's expanse exacts elaboration, essence embedded in every exertion. Reverses? Reveries of retreat, but resolve rallies, refuge restoring radiance. Sacrifices? Savored selection seasoned sliced for skill shrines, interlaced with life's lyric. Until physiology protests, prerogative's pinnacle. Chronicle's climax climbs, Sinner's chronicle, chiseled in chilly climes, now chronicled in champions' chapbooks. The revelation resonates reverence for the rhetoric's realism, reflected in Alcaraz's ardor, their Roland Garros 25 rumble a requiem of reciprocity. As finals finale ferments, Tiafoe tussling with Tabilo in tiebreaker trials, Jockin's duel in the Dinning Slayton assembly tournament, passion's terrible profound. Alcaraz aspires amid the affray, Mentor's manifesto mobilizing might, Sinner's serenity? Sovereign, sustaining spheres. The epic endures, adversaries as architects, arcs aligning in ambition's aurora. Turin's terminus temps transcendence passion persistence paramount, or devotion's depth to decisive decree? British voice of Sinner's velvet volley to Ferrero's forged flame, passion over the chains, a revelation of shading the realm. From Turin's threshold